thank Prime Minister Pashinyan and, of course, the President for making a visit like this today possible. I'm grateful the President sent me here, but most of all for the peace deal that we've struck. And I think the prosperity that it's unlocking both for Armenia and for the American people. We're excited to go on to Azerbaijan from here. Obviously, the President, part of striking peace is actually the first step, but part of the keeping the peace is what we're doing today, which is building upon it, making sure that we have the economic interdependence between Armenia and Azerbaijan that's necessary to make the peace deal stick. But look, I will say, after having been on the ground for 24 hours, a very productive day, I feel very good about where we are. I think the President struck a great peace deal, and I think the administration is really making it stick. So glad to be here and on to Azerbaijan. I'll take a few questions.
Why did you feel it was important to visit the Armenian genocide memorial today? Does that mean that you continue to recognize the Armenian genocide and all the lives that were lost?
Well, we're going to visit some important sites to Azerbaijan tomorrow, and when we talked to the Armenians, they said this is a very important site for us. And obviously, I'm the first vice president to ever visit Armenia. They asked us to visit the site. Obviously, it's a very terrible thing that happened a little over 100 years ago, and something that is just very, very important to them culturally. So I thought, out of a sign of respect both for the victims, but also for the Armenian government that's been a very important partner for us in the region, to Prime Minister Pashinyan, I wanted to go and pay a visit and pay my respects.
Mr. Vensman, can you talk to us about the Greenland talks, what the U.S. will be getting that it doesn't already have so far in the framework you guys are working on?
Well, look, it's very early in the Greenland talks. I know that we've been working quite a bit on this over the last few weeks, but it's just very simple. Greenland is very important to the national security of the United States of America. I do think that some of our allies have underinvested in Arctic security, and if we're going to invest in Arctic security, if we're going to basically pay a lot of money and be on the hook for protecting this massive landmass, I think it's only reasonable for the United States to get some benefit out of that, and that's going to be the focus of the negotiations here over the next few months.
Senator, will you be attending the Board of Peace meeting next week? Can you confirm that that's taking place? Now, are there any specific commitments you're looking for the leaders that will be attending?
I know I'll be there. I mean, the schedule is always a little bit crazy, so I don't know what I'm doing the day after tomorrow, but I'm sure that we'll be there. Obviously, the president's very excited to host a whole host of leaders from across the world, and I do think this Board of Peace is really going to be a new archetype for how to create and maintain peace in the 21st century. As important as the United Nations is, as the President of the United States has said, the United Nations very often, I think, has it hasn't lived up to its full potential. I think what he's trying to do with this Board of Peace is obviously create sustainable peace in Gaza, in the Middle East, but I do think it can create the kind of infrastructure that could lead to a lot of durable peace deals over the years to come.
So the
Vice
critics would
President,
say,
are you going to touch upon the issue of releasing the Armenian prisoners held in Baku during your meetings there?
You asked, are we going to talk about the Armenian prisoners? That's certainly going to come up. I mean, look, we've had a very good relationship with both the Prime Minister here, but also President Aliyev in Azerbaijan. I heard the Prime Minister say this yesterday, actually, that he's optimistic about the peace deal based on where we are compared to where we were just a few months ago. So we're certainly going to raise a number of topics, but I think we're going to continue to work very successfully with the Azeris and the Armenians.
Mr. Vice President, sorry.
Yes.
You mentioned 5 and 4 billion support. Could you clarify what exactly this refers to? Because your statement is being misinterpreted from some circles.
Could you say that again? Sorry.
You mentioned 5 and 4 billion support for Armenia. And could you clarify what this exactly referred to? Because some misinterpretation.
Well, one of the things that we signed yesterday, but also one of the things that we are working on in some of our meetings, is a lot of investment that's going to come to Armenia because of some of the good deals that we've struck between President Trump and Prime Minister Pashinyan. One of those things is there's going to be a very large data center. Actually, I guess it's already been started, a data center that could rise to $4 billion in total investment in Armenia. It's also going to create a lot of jobs for people back home. So it's a classic win-win. $4 billion is, I believe, what the project could become, but you've already seen significant investment in Armenia, and we expect that to continue. We'll talk to you guys on the other end of the trip. Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you.
Nothing.